Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
Good evening, everyone, and you are watching Be Bold, Why Not? That is right. You are watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, stream.lawin.live, and twitch.tv, and we are brought to you by Lawin Media Network. And if you missed the live show, you can listen to our podcasts on Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and a lot more. We are already on episode 12 of season 5 of Be Bold, Why Not? And our theme for the season, of course, Legendary Speaker's Journey. You heard that right. So anyhow, to all our viewers from the Philippines, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I know you're always so excited, looking forward to our show. And I really, truly appreciate each and every one of you. And as you all know, we have a game. So let's show them the mechanics of the game.
How to join the game. 1. Watch the live show and listen to the conversation. 2. Participate and share your experiences on the topic during the live show. 3. Type your thoughts or experience via comment section. 4. All participants are eligible to win a prize. 5. The more you comment, the greater your chances of winning. 6. We will use Wheel of Names to determine the lucky winner.
There you go. So to all our viewers, come on, give your shout outs. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know and we will try our best to answer them. And just simple comments, we really appreciate it. So as we have been featuring on the show, great individuals whom I've met when I attended Les Brown's Legendary Speakers Certification. Again, tonight we have a very, very special guest. His name is Brain Holder, and he's from the sunny state of Florida. Yes, you heard that right. Brain holds a Bachelor's of Science in Electrical Engineering Technology and is A+ and FOI certified, and has a profound understanding of centering himself around the philosophy of power of zero. He brings a thought-provoking approach that challenges the status quo, emphasizing how commonalities between us are often overlooked due to the sway of personal biases. Through the equanimous perspective, Brain empowers audiences to explore neutrality and embrace objectivity. Wow. I am so glad and excited to bring in Brain Holder on the show. And I know that he's got a lot of wisdom to share to all our viewers tonight. So let's get him in.
Well, I don't know if you would call it wisdom, but it's surely been an experience.
Oh, yes. Hi, how are you, Brain? I'm so glad for you to be here.
Thank you. I'm well.
Well, that's awesome. I know you just said it's your daughter's birthday today.
Yes, she turned 10.
Okay, well, happy birthday to her. What's her name?
Galia.
All right. Hi, Galia. Happy birthday to you. And thank you for sharing your dad with us on the show tonight.
Right.
So, yes. So, Brain, tell us about your family first. I know you're from Florida and all that. How many children do you have?
I have two daughters. My oldest daughter is in her early 30s,
Mm-hmm.
and my youngest daughter is 10 years old.
Okay.
10 years
Well,
old today.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Anyway, so since you are on the show called Be Bold, why not? Can you share us an experience of yours where you took a really bold step? It doesn't matter what stage in your life. You can even share us your experience when you were younger, when you were a teenager, whatever you can think of.
Well, I could tell you the boldest step that I've taken to this point was taking that step over the threshold from boyhood to being a man.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the boldest move, because that's where um, getting my citizenship, because I was in this country for so long. Um, I had to file for myself. My parents couldn't file for me.
Uh-huh.
So that was the most adult thing that I have done up until this point, was to get
Oh,
my American citizenship, because I wasn't originally born here. I was originally born in Jamaica.
oh, so you're from Jamaica. Wow. So
Yeah. I
that's
came here
awesome.
at 6 years old.
You came at 6 years old.
Right.
Okay, so what brought you to the United States?
Well, at the time, the Jamaican prime minister was buddying up with Fidel Castro, and my
Mhm.
parents thought Jamaica was going to end up a communist country. So my dad had the wisdom to pick us up and bring us here, but I was the first one brought here.
Mhm.
It was just a normal day for me in Jamaica, and one thing I know, I'm at an airport and I'm on a plane and I'm flying and I'm in this brand new place, this totally new environment that I've never experienced ever before in my life.
Well, that alone is already the like at a young age of 6. You were uprooted from Jamaica and came to the United States of America. That's already a very big and bold step, and
Right,
without
right.
really knowing what to expect. Well, you were young, so you just had to
Yeah, I
follow.
didn't have a choice. I just had to
Yeah.
go along with whatever happened.
Yeah. So you were just talking about that citizenship when you did it or filed for yourself. At what age did you do that?
I would say 48 when I applied,
Mm-hmm.
and 49 when I got the approval,
Mm-hmm.
and 50 when I got my papers, my
Congratulations.
naturalization papers. Right.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, that's a big step. That
Oh
alone,
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, I can share you too. My biggest and boldest step that I can really think of while I was asking that question to you is
Uh-huh.
when I came to the United States by myself. I had to leave my husband and my two young boys.
Right. It's a
Imagine that.
sacrifice.
It
It's
is.
it's truly a sacrifice.
Yes, my boys were only 2 and 3 years old, but I was only away from them for 6 weeks. So that gave me, yeah, so that gave me solace, and I knew
Right.
that I was doing it for them because, of course, as a parent, we want the best for our kids, right? And coming
Of
from the
course.
Philippines, life is not the best that we had growing up in the Philippines. So you do everything in your power to really give them a better future.
Right,
So,
right, right. I mean, what else is there? It kind of just makes too much sense to me, but common, you know, commonality is not so common. It's uncommonly common,
uh-huh.
common
Yeah.
sense, that is.
Yeah, that's right. Common sense is not very common.
Right,
we
right.
always we always say common sense is there, but sometimes we don't even use that common sense.
No, if you don't know, you don't know. That's
Yeah.
why it's called unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Once you know it, it no longer satisfies that definition.
That's right. So growing up, I want to know as you grew up from and coming to America as, as a Jamaican, this from Jamaica, what were some of the challenges? So I could probably relate because I'm not and from here too, just like yourself. But
Right.
what were some of the challenges that you encountered?
Well, this being an immigrant nation, they were already people of color here. Um, you're not going to come into America and not have to prove yourself because it's a dog eat dog world out here. You know, these streets aren't nice. They aren't friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And I know because I've been on them since I was about 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about during the time where drugs and guns were rampant. And I never considered myself to be the age that I am now. I never thought I would live to see past 25. So I never imagined myself at 52.
Wow. Well, but you know what? I know I can feel and I can sense you're a man of faith. So what gave you the strength all those years to get through all those challenges?
Well, I'm not here by my choice. I'm here by the actions of my parents, so I've just been doing the best I can day by day. I haven't figured out how to live more than one day at a time yet. When I do, you'll be the first to know.
Okay. Well, that's right. I think the best we can do is we cannot really say for sure what the future holds for us. So
I
you're
mean, that's why
right.
it's called the future.
Yeah. And that's why, and you're right. We just have to live one day at a time.
Yeah, we're all given 24 hours, and that's scientifically proven, just by putting a stick in the ground and watching the shadow.
Hmm.
You're going to at
Yeah.
least get a shadow for 12 hours.
Yeah. So how do you spend your 24 hours? Like,
At
how?
nights, I work in a data center. After I leave that, I teach in the mornings. I teach fiber optics and CompTIA A+ certification.
Hmm. So
Yeah,
you are a teacher too? Wow.
yeah, I mean, I've collected all this information over the course of my life, and it would be a waste for me to take it wherever I'm going or not going, and not. I've used it to help benefit my life in this environment, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that's just like me.
Hmm. Yeah, and I can relate to your experience because you're right. We have experiences in life that we know that other people might need to help them get through whatever journey they're facing or they're going, right? So now let me ask you, who are the top three or even just 1 to 3 people who are most influential in your life from the beginning till now?
Well, I'll tell you, the number one is my mother. She holds supreme. Um, Below her, a close second is my father. Um, Third, I would have to say the collective combination of the people that I call family
Mm-hmm.
that I've come to meet, and blood make you relative, but
Uh-huh.
it makes you a relative to another person, but it doesn't necessarily make you family. So you run across people who you have no way of uh, even conceiving who they are before you've met them, unless you've met them previously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get too supernatural with it, but somehow you meet people you feel like you've known all your life,
Mm-hmm.
and you just have this association, and then there's a commonality where you come to a understanding that if we work together, it's better than you working for yourself and me working for ourselves, because we can get more done together than we can each get done individually.
That's awesome. Let's hold some thoughts there, but I can relate to what you're saying. Anyway, let's go on our first break. And when we come back, we will continue chatting with Brain. All right, see you in a bit.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories. From elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits, I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
All right, we're back. And before I ask the next question, let me just read some of our comments. Let's see here from Recto Julius. Good evening, Mom MJ, watching from Pangasinan. All right, Recto, thank you. And then we have May De Vera. So unfair. You're already on your 12th episode. Time flew so fast. Absolutely, May. Daisel Miral Siaton. Good evening, Mom MJ, watching from Pangasinan. And then we have Rose Ann Banyes Alvendia. Good evening, Texas, watching from Pangasinan, Philippines. We also have Daimiral Siaton. Good evening to our guest, Sir Brian Holder, watching from Pangasinan, and happy birthday to your daughter. Thank you, Dai. And then Maria Teresa C. Good morning. Good morning to you as well. And then we have Ara Rekilman Ungria. Good evening, Texas. Hello, Mom MJ and Sir Brian, or Brain, sorry. Watching from Pangasinan. God bless your show. Thank you so much. God bless you as well. And we have C. Jubel watching from Pangasinan. And I think we have more. Anyway, Lisa Rekilman Ungria. Good evening, Texas. Brain, I forgot to ask you. I know. My fault. But tell us, I know you have a meaning to your name. Can you tell us your name is an acronym?
Well, there's the story. It's an acronym. My birth name is Garrick, Garrick.
Mm-hmm.
I was named Garrick. My surname is Robinson. It's one of the most English names that you can have. I came to find out that she named me after David Garrick. So, I felt that my mother didn't know what kind of man I was going to be. So when I had the opportunity to change my name during the citizenship, I changed my name to the name of the man that I am. When I was a child and I would get off of school and come home, one of the things that was a pleasure to do was to sit down and watch the cartoon, The Pinky and the Brain. As I got older, I asked myself a question. I was a kid watching this program, and I know kids didn't write it. So having access to information, because we're at the dawn of the information age now, I looked up the etymology of Pinky and the Brain and discovered that his name wasn't Brain because he was intelligent. His name was Brain because it was a backronym for the research they were doing in Acme Labs in a cartoon on Warner Brothers.
Uh-huh.
So the acronym for his name is Biological Recombinant Algorithmic Intelligence Nexus. And that was me to a T. It's what I was created for by the highest power of them all.
Wow. So can you repeat that? I mean, biological recombinant
Algorithmic Intelligence Nexus.
Can you explain that further? That is you. I mean, I'm just curious.
Okay, I'll explain it how. I'm biological because I'm real. You can't discount me. I'm matter. I'm matter. Not even light passes through me. So that's the biological. Recombinant because I'm the youngest of a total of 7, but 4 children from the same mother and father.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the recombinant. I'm a recombination of my mother and my father.
Yes.
Algorithmic because the way I think is purely logical. You could liken me to Spock on Star Trek,
Uh-huh.
because one of the things I learned at a young age was that I can't be out here on these streets and have my feelings out on my shoulders. So I had to learn to be able to contain my emotional side at a young age because it was a matter of life or death.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And then intelligent, of course, right? Because you have
Well, I mean,
very
I'm not the smartest, I'm not the brightest bulb on the shelf. I'm not the one to sit here and blow my horn and say that I'm the smartest one in the room, because I've been searching for other rooms as you outgrow boxes that other influences may put you in.
yeah. And I believe I know you know what intelligence is not clear cut. There's no such thing as just one intelligence. We all have our own
Our own
intelligence.
perception, right?
Yes, may it be, it doesn't mean that your IQ, if your IQ is not like, what's his name? It's not like all the
Einstein.
gurus, yeah, all the
Right,
gurus
right.
like Elon Musk and all that. It doesn't mean that we're not intelligent, because there are other sides of intelligence like social intelligence, emotional intelligence. So
Right,
yeah,
right. Not to
we are.
mention my older sister has her PhD in emotional intelligence. So
Huh?
I, I'm part of her project of her, becoming who she is, because she wrote the foreword in the book that I'm self-producing.
Yeah. So again, as I said, we are all intelligent in our own ways, right? So
Yeah, I mean, listen, none of us have the power or ability to create nature.
mhm.
Nature is the most supreme intelligence of all intelligence,
Oh yeah.
because you look, trees, we have a relationship with trees that has forethought in it. It expels carbon dioxide. We inhale.
Oxygen.
What the trees expel, we inhale. What we
Uh-huh.
exhale, it inhales.
Yeah.
So that relationship alone, in however long it took for us to get here, right now,
Uh-huh.
is, I mean, it makes plenty sense to me.
Yes, yes. And it's beyond our thinking and imagination and explanation, because only a superpower can really do that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I've all I know is being a mortal man. That's all I know, and I'm gonna do the best that I can. I'm gonna give my ultimate all, because that's the
Mhm.
commitment that I put in terms of having conviction in what I believe to be um, the core of my fiber, my essence, because
Mhm.
I want to leave an impression on this planet that causes a domino effect of us coming into the supposed age of Aquarius, where us as a species evolved to a higher plane of consciousness.
Mhm. Yes, yes.
We're
Wow.
all connected. There's an
Yeah.
invisible thread that we all can't see, and it's called non-existence.
Yes. It has been a really interesting conversation with you, because I'm like, my brain is working. My brain is working. Yeah. Yeah. But I want to ask too, at what age did you have like a light bulb moment where you knew that you were born to do something greater? Because, as human beings, we are like, people say that in general, we are selfish. We only care about what we are going to eat, what we're going to wear, but sometimes we don't look at the community. We don't look at us ourselves as being part of this greater community, that we are supposed to impact each other and contribute to the advancement or to the betterment of humanity or the universe, right? So not all people really have that inclination or that realization that they are actually born to do something greater in their lives. So in your case, at what age did you come to that realization that you want to do something great?
That would be the birth of my first daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she was the motivation. She was the spark for me to change my life for the better. I knew what I was doing at the time wasn't sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it wasn't becoming of a man. So once I hit 26, I had this big void. Like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Because remember, I told you I never thought I would live to be 26, actually. When I turned 26 years old, I beat a court case, and the day after, I left Miami and drove to Toronto because my parents had given me an opportunity to go to school full time to go and obtain my bachelor's degree.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, man, when my mind gets going, I go off on so many tangents, but that's just how it works. I have to be disciplined in maintaining it. Um, it's Look, it boils down to this.
Yeah.
As human beings, as an individual, a person who's alive to hear my voice at this very moment, you won the very first race that you ever took because you're here. You were born. You're born a winner, not a loser.
Mm-hmm.
So just the fact that you're here, you're blessed because there were a billion other possibilities at that moment.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yes. I mean, wow. I can't,
I mean,
again.
I don't mean to shout, but it was that kind of moment.
Yes, yes. And we all have those moments. But sometimes we're not like we ignore those small voices. We ignore those moments. We ignore them because we feel like everything that's happening to us is happening to us, not through us. You know
Right.
what I mean? There
You're
are
in a story. It's
Mhm,
your story, and you're not the main character.
mhm,
You're a supporting cast in your own story because the space of your mind between your two ears is your space. It's of your volition. It's of your will. It's
mhm.
your thoughts. You're creating those thoughts. If someone is putting thoughts in your head, you're a puppet.
Wow. That is so good. That is so good. Now tell us, how do you get through those thoughts and how do you overcome them? Because every single one of us, especially our viewers who
Mhm.
are listening right now, there are so many negative things that go through our mind every day. I know we think like thousands, gazillion, or thousands of thoughts every day, and most of them are negative thoughts. How do you,
It's to
yeah.
the heart. It's to the heart of the philosophy that I've created. It will all be released within the next 6 months.
Mhm.
Um, it's a very simple equation. It's one equals zero. In our realm, we would say, how can one equal zero? It's because it's a paradox.
Mhm.
Life, we only know life from existence. You'll never know life from non-existence
Mhm.
because life doesn't exist in non-existence. So that's the play between one and zero. It's all the same spectrum. It's a duality. It's a continuum. It's a ever changing relationship. One defines the other. Up, if there's no up, then what is down? If there's no left, then what is right? If there's
Mhm.
no good, then what is evil?
Yeah.
So we're taught, what we're taught is not for our benefit. What we're taught is for the benefit of a few individuals who have specialized information that may have been collected over the course of millennia. Because I don't really know how long or how old this planet is. I haven't done that kind of research for myself to have that kind of verification or validity. I only deal in facts. I don't deal in opinions. Everybody has an opinion.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, you know what? That again, that needs more explanation. But when we come back, because we're on our second break, you'll talk more about what you've been preparing for and what you've been working on that will help us better ourselves. We're going to get there, but let's hold that thought for now. So when we come back, we will continue with the conversation. See you after a while.
Tune into Legal Treats with attorney Eileen Ligote Dizon
every Friday 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
Get your weekly dose of legal knowledge, especially on family matters like divorce, child custody, child support, estate planning, probate and immigration.
Engage in discussion by posting your questions or comments during the show.
See you this Friday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. That would be Saturday at 7:30 a.m. Philippines. Don't miss out.
Hello po dyan sa mga taga-Texas. Nandyan po kami ni Desa sa June 14 at meron po kaming show sa Gaylord Texan Resort and Convention Center on June 14. So, nandyan po ang mga detalye below sa ating poster and I hope to see you soon, guys. See you sa June 14.
All right, we're back. We're back. And let's read more of the comments. But then, yeah, I, De Las Alas, and Desa in Texas coming up. All right. So let's see more comments here from Francisco, Jasmine Umbria. Good evening, Texas. Hello, Mom MJ and Sir Brain Holder. Watching from Pangasinan. God bless your show. And then we have Myla Corpus. Good evening, Texas. Hello, Mom MJ and Sir Brain Holder. Watching from Pangasinan. God bless your show. Thank you. And Mary Grace Rocapor. Good evening, Texas. Watching from Philippines. Yeah. And we have Luz Castañeda. Good morning. Watching from Tarlac. Good evening or good morning to you, Luz. And we have May de Vera. What drives you to share your story with others? Well, we'll answer that after we read all these comments. Good morning, watching from Singapore. We have a viewer from Singapore. Thank you, Gloria. So, Brain, do you want to answer the question by May de Vera? What drives you to share your story with others?
Every day that I wake up in a paradise, and I'm watching mankind ruin the only paradise that may be known in our solar system. We haven't really discovered anything in our solar system, and we've just discovered that there are billions of other galaxies. So I want to do my part to help save. Elon can go to Mars. Mars is a one-way trip. I'm invested in saving what we have now, even though some people may have collectively said that we've either approached the line of no return or we have crossed that threshold already. Mm-hmm. So that's my motivation for doing what I'm doing, for sharing my story, because research up to date has proven that diversity is way better than a single-minded, single consciousness.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I believe that too. Because, you know, the more diverse we are, the more complex life is. And there's not one single person that can solve that complexity of life.
No, it takes a team. We're stronger together, not apart.
Yes, yes,
You
that's
have to be, you have to not be the weakest link in the chain, but that's where you have to work on yourself. You have to tell yourself that you're worth it because you're here. You know what the odds of you winning that race? It was 1 in 1 billion.
mhm.
You won that race. You're here. We can make a difference. It doesn't matter how bad it is, because listen, life is a zero-sum game. No one is getting out alive.
Wow. That is so powerful. So while we're alive, let's do our part to make this world a better place. Because you're right. It doesn't matter how small or big or how successful or how great you are. I mean, you have a part to play. It's like this is how I look at it. We have gazillion stars in the sky, right? And not every star shines the same, not as bright as each one, but
Right.
they all make a big light in the universe together. Right? That's
Yeah.
why even if you're just one little star there, not as bright as the rest of them or every other star in the sky, you still have a part in shining your light to this world.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm a shepherd of light. That's part of what I do for, my labor of love. Um, Light is so amazing. It takes 8 minutes for the light from the sun to travel from its location to planet Earth.
Hmm.
That's a great distance. The sun is 93 million miles away. And I mean, it's light. We haven't discovered anything faster yet. So,
Hmm.
it's, it's, it's such a constant in our lives. It rises, it sets. It rises, it sets. You can set your watch to it. You can watch it with the stars and the constellations. And most people don't understand that's where the collective intellect of our species began, because we're grounded to this planet. But some of us had the audacity to look up and wonder, what is that? What
Hmm.
is that? Light, some of those light sources are so far away that they're not even there anymore. It takes millions of years for them to travel from their location to where we are. And by the time we've seen it, it's been gone for millions of years. Um,
Hmm.
Science, there are things that have been proven um, over the collective span of our species. For us to say that we're of a different kind is to admit that some of us don't come from this planet, because everything from this planet has commonality.
Hmm. Yes, and that commonness actually, if we put them together, it makes us a better force in this
Right,
world.
right. Because what if aliens do come to planet Earth? What are we going to do? We don't know if they're going to be friendly or full.
Mhm.
I bet you at that point we would forget these bounders and borders and be like, we have to come together to fight this overwhelming force. A lot of people don't understand what overwhelming force is, but I grew up
Mhm.
in Miami-Dade County and I've seen it many and many times.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's been really very great conversation with you. And I want to just ask, because we talked about the story, right? So now tell us, what's your signature story, Brain, when you are.
My signature story, I'll read it to you now. I'll probably need about 5 minutes max to
Oh,
get
yeah,
to
go
it from
ahead. We
beginning
have
to end.
time.
And what it
Absolutely.
is, it's an introduction of me to your audience,
Hmm.
because this is not for anyone particular. This is for everyone. Everyone who has the capabilities of comprehending a simple equation between only two symbols. 0 or 1. There is no in between.
Mm-hmm.
It's either yes or no, right? So a lot of people, because of our nature, our biology, we were taught math from a decimal system.
Mm-hmm.
And being taught math from a decimal system as a child, you don't have the biology to understand what 0 is.
Mm-hmm.
So we learn math from the representation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then when 0 is introduced, it's introduced in a way where it increases the order of magnitude by 10.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taught about 0 from a powerful standpoint of getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But in physics, you know, the larger the mass, the more energy it takes to sustain over a course, a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
We're never taught that there's a number system that goes the opposite way, because although can't represent nothing, well, I can, because I could always show you my 2 fists up is, we could come to an agreement and say, whenever you see me do this, no matter
Mm-hmm.
how far away I am, that means I'm on 0.
Mm-hmm.
So, we can, oh man, you're opening Pandora's box. Right? So we're taught 0 from a standpoint of it causing you to become more powerful from the sense of getting bigger. But we
Yeah.
don't understand that every number less than 0 is an imaginary number. It's a number you have to use your mind to understand. And
Uh-huh.
they're called negative numbers: -1,
Yeah.
-2, -3, -4. You have to use your imagination. I can't represent a number less than 0.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to have the capabilities of being imaginative to have them as placeholders, because they're imaginary. If your imagination, you don't have a good memory, you'll never be able to understand that concept. So
Yeah.
there are some things that you have to have the faculties in order to grasp it. If not, you just be a sheep in the herd and pray and hope that the shepherd is leading you to greener pastures and not to slaughter.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So that's your signature story.
I mean, I had to break it down in the time that I'm allotted to,
Okay.
but I'll be introduced to the world once I get the website and the platform developed, and that's less than 6 months away.
Yeah. So tell us about this manuscript that you're working on. Is that all that's like just a gist? Like,
Well, I started out writing the philosophy because, like I said, traditional systems of control and belief didn't fill the void that was left. Um, when you love, you just don't experience the good side of love, because in order to understand love, you're taught loss.
mhm,
Because the reality is, once you grasp the concept that life is fleeting and that life has an expiration date, we just don't know when it is. We don't know how it's coming, but it's inevitable. There's nothing that anyone can do. No one, no doctor, no rocket scientist, no one has figured out how to make us last forever.
mhm,
Forever is a long time. Forever implies that time never stops. It just keeps going and going and going and going. But um, I haven't met anyone who has died and come back to tell me what the other side is like. Until
mhm.
that day, then I'm open. I can't be closed minded. I have to accept all possibilities, because the way my mind works and how I make a decision, I'm capable of sitting down and processing tens of trillions of possibilities of how one situation can play out.
And we'll talk about that when we come back, because I know you're gonna help us, our viewers, and everybody who's listening right now with your manuscript and with your program and with what you're working on, you're going to help us discover or unleash that, better version of ourselves. And
Right.
we're going to talk more about that when we come back after our last break. We're back and we have more comments from Delia Ligot. Hi, Tita Delia. Good evening, Texas. Hello, MJ and the guest watching your show. Thank you so much for watching. We have Joanne Esterija. Good evening. Good morning. Sorry. Good morning, Texas. Watching from Pangasinan. And we have May de Vera. How have you dealt with fear or doubt in pursuing your goals? We'll answer that.
Wow. She asked great questions.
Yes. Anyway, I think that was the last comment. So, yeah, how have you dealt with, with doubt and fear when you in pursuing your goals, Brain? That is a great question. Maybe we can give an insight to our viewers.
Well, what you have to do is to embrace the unknown, because fear is not knowing what's coming ahead. That's why in the Bible it says you should walk by faith and not by sight. But people don't actually realize that you can practically practice that. As human beings, our eyes was placed in front of us. And for us to get from one destination to the other, you walk forward. But if you want to practice walking by faith, turn backwards and walk forwards. You'll see exactly where you came from. But the only way you'll be able to see where you're going is to lose faith and turn around. And I do that in the morning when I'm on my walks.
You do that? Oh my God.
I practice what I preach. I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
And my actions are louder than my words.
Yes, absolutely. Because we always say that as parents, especially, right? As parents, we try to teach our kids. But then if we're not really doing what we're teaching, they're not going to follow us. And it's a struggle, right? So we have to walk the faith, walk the talk.
Right.
Yeah.
The way to teach them is by being the best role models. So if you attain your best, all you have to do is wake up and give your best effort. No one can't put you down for doing the best that you can, because that's all that any one of us can do to be a better person, is to put the best foot forward. Because when the best foot is forward, the worst foot will get jealous, and jealousy will make him take that step forward. So it really doesn't matter. Like I said, life is a zero-sum game. The sun has been, theorized that in about 13 billion years, it will die and take everything in the solar system with it. So what does it matter? It sounds depressing, but that's the ultimate reality of it. No one knows what's to come. That's why it's called the unknown. So if you come and tell me you know a certain thing, it's like, what makes you different that I can't? understand that. Where did you get that from? Can you prove it? I mean, there's a thing called blind faith, and you know, blind faith leads you off a cliff quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. And then you said, so embrace the unknown. That's how you're going to deal with fear.
Yes, because there. You ever heard that saying that there's only fear to fear?
Mm-hmm. The fear
Right?
of fear.
Right. That's all it is. Once you overcome the fear of fear, because
Mm-hmm.
nothing in your mind can or will harm you.
Mm-hmm.
You will only experience harm in existence.
Mm-hmm.
There's only physical harm. There's no mental harm. It's self-inflicted.
That is so powerful. That's right. I mean, because a lot of times, I mean, as human beings, because we are born to react, right? We are born to react, not respond. So when we are born to react, even though it's not real, we react. And you're right.
I'll give you a situation.
Okay.
You're in a traffic jam.
Uh-huh.
What's the first thing you do when you're in a traffic jam? You get frustrated. Why me? Why am I in this traffic jam? Why am I stuck? And it's because we all exist in a bubble that we create in our mind to protect us from the harm that could potentially take our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Reality, because that's a reality. There's always jeopardy, there's always risk involved. Some of us are better at calculating and weighing the risk to reward ratio, but the healthiest man died healthy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a choice. It's a choice on how we react and respond to things. That's why we are
Right.
given free will.
So that's the power of zero. When
Mm-hmm.
you're able to still your mind and stand still and look and experience and choose to go left or right
Mm-hmm.
instead of it being a knee-jerk reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Something happens and it triggers something. It's like a gun. Once that trigger is pulled, that bullet you can never pull back.
Oh yeah. Wow, the power of zero. I actually have, I know you have your power of zero, but now I am learning to actually come to understand the power of zero from like my own simple way of interpreting the power of zero
Yeah,
is
zero is the only common thing in
yes,
anything because
any
there always has to be a starting point. If I can measure my life in time, I was born and I'm going to die, and it may have seemed like a journey from one foot in front of the other, but the reality of this, whatever this is that's in existence, is miraculous.
Mhm.
You have to really look at it from reality.
Mhm.
Ants, bees. If bees are wiped out, all life on the planet that exists off of plants are gone.
Mhm.
It's that
Mhm.
serious.
Yes.
You know, it's not the everyday rat race that we're in. You know, you wake up, you go to work, you earn a living. There are so much, your mind is so powerful. Look at what computers can do today, and computers don't even have a tenth of the power of the human mind.
Yeah, and computers are created by the human mind. So, yes. All this technology all came from this brain of ours. Wow, right? The power of
Right,
zero. Wow,
right.
that's amazing. Now, Brain, tell our viewers how can we make the most out of this life? In that program that you are creating and developing, tell us in simple structure, how can we make this the most out of life?
We can make the most out of this life by learning to love ourselves. Before you invest in someone else, invest in yourself. Learn to love yourself because you cannot get rid of yourself. You're always with you.
Mhm.
No matter where you go, no matter what you do, your opponent is yourself. You're not competing with anyone else but yourself.
Mhm.
Like I said earlier, stand in the sun. You'll see your shadow. Start a fight with your shadow and see who wins the fight.
You. Yeah. So that's right. Our greatest competition is ourselves. Sometimes we are so hard on ourselves.
Right.
And
You can't love another until you actually learn to love yourself. It goes down to this one of the fundamental equations of this whole philosophy. One love equals zero hate. Remember the equation at the beginning, one equals zero.
Mhm.
One love equals zero hate. If I love myself, I will not waste a dime of my time. I won't even waste a plank time hating you because love is so strong. Love conquers all.
Mhm. Wow. And then you know what? If you don't love yourself, how would you expect other people to love you? Right?
See, it's that just that simple.
Yes. Yes. And then sometimes people think that loving yourself is selfish. It's no, because you got to
It
love.
doesn't matter. Even
Yeah,
if it is
it is.
selfish,
That's
you're
right.
doing it for the best reason. You're doing it
That's
for
right.
yourself.
Yeah, I'll take that back. That's right. Even if it's selfish, you're right. Because that's the foundation again. Loving ourselves is taking care of ourselves so we can love others, right?
Yes, it's called longevity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anything that I've attained quick, I lost it the same way. And I've been alive to taste the sweet nectar of living and loving and being able to wake up in a paradise of someone else's hell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's truly a blessing to understand that every decision that I make has a trillion unintended consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And this reality that I keep coming back to unwillingly, I just have to make one right decision. And that's the first thing I have to do when I wake up is get up. It goes right back to Les Brown.
Yes.
If you're knocked down and you could turn around and you could look up and you could get up,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's the first battle is getting up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming from a, a zero plane
That's
because
right.
we all have to sleep. We all have to lay horizontal to get the best sleep. And that's just how
Mhm.
our biology is set up. So that's the first battle is getting up. The second battle is having the will to push through, leaving the sanctuary of your home,
Mhm.
because home is a place where you can go and you don't have to worry about the world. You can
That's
shut
right.
the world off and you could be in your bubble of safety and you can be as creative as you could possibly be because you don't have the fear.
Mhm. Mhm.
But knowing that outside these doors exists an environment that the only control I um, have is of myself, and to know that there are people who may cause harm to another intentionally or unintentionally
Mhm.
is a lot to deal with because you're leaving the safety of your home to make these sacrifices to be able to provide for your children or your children's children or whatever it is your situation is. You may just like to get up and go and make money,
Mhm.
but it's a risk, it's a chance involved because money is an awful game. Money is
Mhm.
a game that's been implemented in society to, you know, keep a certain class of people working for the benefit of, a small few. I mean, I hate to keep harping on that, but that's just the reality of the situation.
Yep. And we just have to face all these realities in life. So every day, okay, it's always a treat to watch your show, Miss MJ, learning from legendary speakers for free and beyond what the four corners of a room could offer. Wow,
Now,
thank you, Nick.
see, she's saying it because she knows the value of free. Free is priceless. You can't put a number on it.
Mm-hmm.
All
Wow.
right. Zero.
Yes. Zero. Thank you. Oh my God, Brain. I know it's been a very interesting night, but we are at the end of the show. And let's just show them your social media. So if you all want to follow Brain and learn more about him and just get some wisdom from this very powerful person. I mean, he's got the brain of a real, I don't know, I can't explain it, but the power of zero.
It's natural. It's natural intelligence.
Yes, natural
intelligence.
Yes.
It's all based in zero. Zero is the foundation. Zero is the void of potentiality.
That is so awesome. Thank you, Brain. I really exercised my brain tonight. But before you say goodbye, let's see who won our show. Come on, let's see our winner. All right. Jubel, congratulations. And thank you for watching again our Brain. It's been an amazing conversation with you. I mean, I kid you not. You got it stimulated my
and it's just the beginning. We're at the dawn of the information age. It's up to us as good citizens of a great world, planet Earth, because we all come from the same source.
That's
right.
Whether
you want to believe it or not, one day you'll find out. One day everyone will find out there in their own time.
Amen. Well, it's been a wonderful evening with you. I really, really appreciate your time, and go celebrate your daughter's birthday.
I am. Yes. This is it.
Yes.
She'll have this to look back when she's an adult.
That's right. And to all of you, take that bold step. Whatever is holding you back to actually go for your dreams, just remember the power of zero. You have the free will to choose. So be bold. Why not? Join us again next Monday here. And good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.